With that knowledge with that knowledge, now watch this video and see how much of an op that it is.
I got us donuts. Those are so bad for you. Oh no, are they moldy? I mean, are they poisoned? Are you allergic? No, I'm just saying. You're judging my food choices based on a false standard of health again, aren't you? Guilty.
Diet culture, fat phobia, and systems of oppression have created false hierarchies of food, and it shows up everywhere.
For instance, harmful thought patterns like earning food through exercising, or that dessert is the reward for the punishment of eating vegetables.
Remember that you do not need to earn food.
We are all incorrectly taught from a young age that our size, and therefore the foods that we eat, are markers of our self-worth. Moralizing food can lead to harmful relationships with food and disordered eating.
Instead of focusing on good and bad choices, try to approach food with neutrality in mind.
The only foods that are bad for you are foods that contain allergens, poisons, and contaminants.
Let's pause it for a minute here. Everybody is entitled to their own interpretation of how they grew up. But I kind of wonder what this girl is talking about when she said, from a young age, we're taught that our food is connected to our self-worth.
Yes.
Where did she get that from? You know, hopefully she's not in a fucking shit environment where somebody is telling her that she's fat or something like that, or trying to cut her down in some way. That is not like I would say that's an abnormal upbringing. I don't think that most parents normally do that. So I don't think our society, that could be her interpretation, but it's probably her interpretation because she's heavy. I think that's her interpretation. Yeah, because she's heavy. That's not necessarily that's not necessarily like a fact across the board that we're attaching our food to our self-worth. What do you guys think?
I don't even think she was being sneaky, but she was that, like, if somebody can just listen to this whole video clip, and if they agree with it, they'll be like, yeah, this is great. But yeah, food connected to self-worth, no. Food connected to health is the thing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can help your health, or it can make your health kind of screwed up.
Yeah. So that right there, I don't think that's the general consensus when it comes to the fat acceptance movements or the healthy at every size movement. The self-worth thing is talked about, but the thing is like when you start talking about facts, the facts is that certain foods aren't good for your health. That's facts.
And you can put them in a category as being bad. They're like offensive to the metabolism. They're going to cause a lot of problems.
Especially if you overeat them, which most people don't have the self-control.
And that's where we can run into some self-worth issues, would be if you did end up gaining a lot of weight, then maybe society would be cruel to you, and then maybe you would have issues with your self-worth. But that'd still be your own interpretation, which would be hard to interpret things any other way if someone's calling you fat. So I can understand her viewpoint from there. But you have to eat the shitty foods, the foods that are quote unquote bad for you, in order to get yourself into this self-loathing place in the first place, in my opinion.
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, we love these fucking legendary tasty pastries, and you already know how good they are, but I want a hot tip for you. I want to give you a hot tip. Number one,
hot heat.
When you eat these things, 20 grams of protein, 5 grams of net carbs, put it in the microwave for 15 seconds. All right, we talked about how it can fit any single diet because it's high protein, very low carb. But if you put it in the microwave for 15 seconds, my fucking God, it will melt in your mouth. I highly suggest you could do this with any flavor, but if you can get your hands on the hot fudge sundae, oh, baby, Andrew, you're the one who put me on this shit, man.
Yes, seriously, you guys have to try this, but please do not microwave it for more than 15 seconds because the inside turns nuclear. But to me, this tastes like an old school chocolate donut for some reason. When you microwave it, it completely changes the flavor and it changes it for the better. But you guys got to head over to eatlegendary.com and at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save 20% off your entire order. Again, that's at eatlegendary.com. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to this podcast.
And rewind it just a bit so I want to hear exactly what you said because I don't want to.
Yeah. And then so like the only thing that I can really think of as far as like self-worth, because like I grew up in a nice house and stuff, but like, or nice household. And the only thing was like, oh, look at your cousin so-and-so. Like they ate all their food. Like, how come you're not eating yours? So like that, you got props if you ate your whole plate, like it was encouraged. Wasn't sure if that's totally different, but that's the only thing where I was just like, oh, I'm not as good as him because I didn't eat all my food. And that, it's kind of weird feeling. But let me rewind it a little bit.
Neutrality in mind.
The only foods that are bad for you are foods that contain
further back, right?
A bit further back to
moralizing side.
Here we go.
To earn food.
We are all incorrectly taught from a young age that our size and therefore the foods that we eat are markers of our self-worth. Moralizing food can lead to harmful.
Okay, so
I wish they used a different filter on the side.
See, so she said size and therefore our food. But if we just kind of take out the food thing, I think the big thing is like the size and self-worth thing for a lot of people with their perspective makes sense because a lot of people who are bigger, well, they could be made fun of for their size or whatever, that affects their self-worth. But your size, if we're looking again factually, can be a marker for your long-term health. That is just true. There's no way about it. And you can do everything to, I don't know, get tests or see if you're healthy, but it's self-worth is separate. Health, that is a marker. So you got to be careful with that. It's a very colorful language to try to, talk about this topic.
At the root of it, we're animals, and we recognize when somebody has something different than we have. I walked by a woman yesterday. She was missing part of her arm. She's missing the lower part of her arm. Yeah. I didn't mean to look, but I'm a fucking idiot. I do it. I was not trying to stare or embarrass or anything. It's an identification thing. You just see it. You're like, oh, wow, okay, that's different, right?
Yep.
In our society today and forever, since the beginning of time, we know that human beings shouldn't be fat. In the animal kingdom, there's not a fat lion. There's elephants that have fat on them, but all the elephants have a similar amount of fat on them. One's not necessarily fatter than the other. Human beings are animals in a particular way at the root of our basis. We are not designed to be obese. We're not designed to be, I'm not trying to be callous. I'm just talking about facts. I'm talking about, I guess what I would perceive as facts. Maybe somebody else can have conjecture towards it and I'd be fine with that. But I think that it registers in your brain that somebody is oversized when they're excessively overweight. You see it. You hear little kids will say, that person's fat. They're like 5. Like they don't really know, but they know something's up. They know something's different.
Yeah.
Somebody's a lot bigger than they should be. That person in our society, from what I understand, from even a long time ago, people that were heavy weren't as trustworthy. They were like, that person's eating all the food. Like clearly, like how did they get that big? we have to save this food for everybody.
Goddamn, bro.
We got 5, 6, 7 people. We got 8. I'm not even high. We got 8 people to feed. Why is this one so big? Right?
Man, someone's gonna just clip this shit and be like,
yeah.
Well, I'm hoping we do it. So.
Yeah.
This was really good.
Go for it because I want to help more people that are heavy. I really do. My mom died from being obese and I've seen it firsthand and it fucking sucks. But my mother knew the whole time. She knew that that was no way to live. She just couldn't control it. She had traumas from when she was a kid. She dealt with it through food. That wasn't a great way to mitigate her stress. It made things more stressful and made things hurt worse.
Yeah.
Nutrition is a pathway to improving every single thing that you do. Every relationship, all your business handlings, every single thing that you do. And yes, you can take it too far the other way and not eat enough and stuff like that. But if you are getting in proper nutrition, you are allowing yourself to express at your highest level of output every single day. It doesn't matter if you're Tom Segura. It doesn't matter if you're The Rock, the president, Joe Rogan, whoever. Everybody can benefit from eating in the best possible way that they can.
Peeps, we love bringing you all this fitness information, and we also want to help bring that information to more people. So if you could help us out, hit that red subscribe button and then hit the notification bell, and we'll continue to bring you the heat. And I won't whisper in your ear. Talk to you guys later.